A lot of the legal pushback against Trump 2.0 has fallen on the shoulders of independent organizations like Democracy Forward. The group was recently featured in a Politico magazine article titled "Inside the Nerve Center of the Legal Resistance to Trump." Quote, "At a nondescript building not far from the White House, Skye Perryman recently convened a call with a group of seasoned lawyers. The purpose? To work through particularly thorny questions about an array of legal challenges they had launched to try to thwart President Donald Trump. Perryman and her group are not just foot soldiers in this fight. You may not have heard of them yet, but they're working to become the nerve center of the legal opposition to Trump, filing numerous complex cases while at the same time raising increasingly large sums of money, rapidly expanding their operations and publicly positioning themselves as the tip of the spear against the Trump administration in the courts." Democracy Forward is also making news for adding lawyers who have defected from Trump's DOJ. The New York Times reports a former Justice Department lawyer who spoke out publicly about the Trump administration's aggressive maneuvers to deport migrants has joined one of the legal advocacy firms challenging the administration's approaches to immigration, benefits for the poor, and civil rights. In an interview with the New York Times, Erez Ruveni said he decided to work for the group Democracy Forward because, quote, "This is really a make-or-break moment for the rule of law, for democracy, for the rights of all people who live in this country." And joining us now is Skye Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward. Skye, thank you for being here. That Politico magazine feature called Democracy Forward, the tip of the spear against the Trump administration in the courts. Skye, do you think that's an accurate description?
Well, look, there are so many lawyers at so many organizations that are doing everything that we can in our power to make sure the American people can access the courts. But yes, we've been very busy at Democracy Forward since the early days of the administration, when it unfortunately became clear that this was a president that was not going to govern for all of the American people, but was going to accelerate a really harmful agenda.
Well, what cases are you working on right now that we should know about?
Well, we have hundreds of cases and investigations that we've launched, but we recently, and I know that you talked about this earlier tonight, we are in court in order to protect 42 million people's access to SNAP benefits. Earlier this year, we had to go to court in order to stop the president from freezing essential services and federal funds across, the entire country, which would have really put communities across the country in jeopardy. We are defending the rights of immigrants in court. Due process rights. We have been in court having to defend institutions against the president's retaliation and violations of the First Amendment. And just today, we amended a complaint in our case where we're trying to keep the Department of Education working for the American people and for American school children.
Skye, let me read a little more from that New York Times article I cited earlier about former DOJ lawyer Erez Ruveni. Democracy Forward President and CEO Skye Perryman said she hired Mr. Ruveni because he has seen the anti-immigrant autocratic playbook up close and will be part of a team of lawyers, including others who once worked in the government, who are very well positioned to figure out the best ways to confront it. Ms. Perryman praised Mr. Ruveni as a person of integrity who ultimately lost his job as a result of his commitment to the ethics requirements of the legal profession. How did you get in contact with Erez Ruveni?
Well, look, we have so many lawyers across the nation, really, and so many that have government experience that are interested in Democracy Forward. They were interested in how they can be part of this fight. And so we are really lucky to have Erez join us. We've been lucky to have so many people from the Department of Justice join us over the last year. And then, of course, also people from private practice, from big law firms that are in this moment seeking to do everything they can to protect the American people.
And real quickly, is the legal resistance to Trump working?
Look, I think it is, and that doesn't mean that people aren't getting harmed, because this is an administration that is intent on harming people every single day. But we are seeing lawyers go into court every day. This is the largest and most successful affirmative legal effort against an executive branch at this point of an administration in United States history, and we have court orders that are protecting people each day.
Skye Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word.